Good day, everyone. Thank you so much for being here and allowing me the opportunity to present this to you all today. This has been something I've been working on for quite some time now, and it's truly an honor to have the floor and deliver this presentation. Before I begin, I would like to suggest to anyone listening, to have an open mind. The biggest takeaway is understanding that competition exists, criticism exists, failure exists, all to allow us the opportunity to find better solutions. Today's businesses build themselves upon searching for solutions in order to be disruptive and gain traction. That's what separates themselves from their competition. This quote here I found from one of the co-founders of Airbnb. It reads, "If we tried to think of a good idea, we wouldn't have been able to think of a good idea. You just have to find the solution for a problem in your own life." This is Brian Chesky, co-founder of Airbnb. A big inspiration of mine, someone that I've been following for quite some time. And I think that's something that should resonate with everyone. So really take it in and spend some time thinking about that and what that might mean to you. Okay, so let's talk about some major competitors who are dominating their industries. You see here we have Uber and Lyft, Home Depot and Lowe's, and even Priceline and Hotels.com, all doing similar things in the same industries as one another, all of which dominating for quite some time now. Take Uber and Lyft, for example. We have Uber created in 2009 and Lyft shortly after in 2012. Now, I would say most people who seen Uber on the rise and coming up for those 3 years probably question whether or not Lyft should be even entering the scene, right? But they knew they had a space opportunity because they knew they could do things still differently. Both have almost the exact same business model, provided the exact same service, but both have a separate competitive edge that allows them to gain so much exposure and traction as well as market share. Same goes for Lowe's and Home Depot, as well as Priceline and Hotels.com. They stepped into the market understanding their competitor was lacking in areas that they could attack and dominate. This has allowed the other company to stay relevant and win over business. I prefer to use Uber, as prices are typically cheaper, Lowe's because it's easier to navigate the store, and Priceline because William Shatner has a special place in my heart. That's a little joke, but I do use Priceline over most competitors. I think it resonates well, and I remember it. Others might disagree with me, and that's okay. And that's what helps me understand that there is room in the market for someone to come in and do things differently and dominate, focusing on aspects their competitor isn't. So let's keep that in mind as we move forward and dive in a little deeper. Before we move any further, you're probably wondering who I am, and that's okay. So, who am I? You might be wondering, why am I telling you this? Why are you sitting here listening to this? Who does this guy think he is? He has all the answers. First and foremost, I'm an ongoing student, and understanding trends and how business works, that's something I'm passionate about. I have a passion for business. The truth is, I don't have all the answers. What I do have is the passion to learn and find solutions to problems. I grew up somewhat of an outsider. I wasn't the best student and always had a massive obsession with building, whether it was with toys, starting at a young age, Legos, blocks, doing things differently. Someone built a tower, I built something very odd and strange, right? Then I had a passion for drawing. I had a blank canvas, a blank piece of paper, and a pencil, and I was occupied for hours, just creating, just dreaming big. And I guess I dream big. You could say that. I've always been like that. Adults and teachers told my mother I had a learning problem, I was disruptive, I needed medication, or I wasn't going to graduate or move up levels, in grad school. My mom was luckily supportive and knew I just wasn't interested. She told me to continue following what I loved and just work the best you could at school. So I did. I did end up going to college. I graduated with a bachelor's in operations and decision sciences in 2014. I walked out of college thinking I could do anything, but the market told me otherwise. It told me I could work in a cubicle making $30,000 a year. And I knew this wouldn't do. After multiple dead-end jobs, I decided to create my own business. I didn't have much experience, but I knew I was quick to learn and I could put all my efforts in in whatever it was I was doing. I built my first profitable business, which was a cleaning and maintenance company. I paid off my student debt my first year in business. I was so hungry for success, but lack of knowledge in business soon led from an early defeat. I became burnt out from a long physical hours and went on to build my next business, which was a marketing web design agency with 2 partners. We had one major problem, which was we knew nothing about marketing. We had the sales ability, to bring in clients, but couldn't manage their needs. Lacking skills in my partners and overall eagerness to learn and develop soon led to our second defeat. I gained a ton of experience from these endeavors, and it allowed me to create this idea, which we will discuss in a few minutes here. After my defeat as a small business, I reversed my anger and frustration with an overall obsession to help small businesses. I could relate to the feeling of pain and scarcity they face, when they're struggling. I can also relate to the feeling of what it's like to be growing and gaining new business, feeling both busy and overwhelmed. These small businesses owners have families, husbands or wives, sick relatives, massive debt, or late payments. They don't need another entity coming around trying to take advantage of them, but rather help them and educate them, build them up and help the community understand the importance of small business and creating loyalty to what they provide. My mission here is simple. It's to help small business growth. My motto is simple. Allow small businesses, both established and struggling, with everything in between, the opportunity to create longevity and prosperity in today's market and future markets. I know we have the potential to do this with what I'm going to show you. I'll give you a bit of a hint here of what we're going to be talking about. We're talking about discounts, coupons, promotional deals. It's an attractive part of selling for anyone, whether they provide a service or a product. It's a bait to get the prospect in the door. I don't like to use the word bait here, but technically that's what it is, and that's the term that salespeople will use. It allows them to experience the product and potentially keep them coming back. This started nearly 200 years ago with Coca-Cola. I'll give you a little insight and backstory behind Coca-Cola and their first endeavor, using coupons. It was Atlanta businessman Asa Candler. He had a brainstorm in 1887 when he created the first coupon. At the time, brainstorm referred to the brief period of insanity. But you can't question that Coca-Cola co-owner's sanity when it hit upon an invaluable market device. Candler's invention transformed Coca-Cola from an insignificant tonic into a market-dominating drink. His handwritten ticket offered consumers a free glass of Coca-Cola, then a price at 5 cents. But between 1894 and 1913, an estimated 1 in 9 Americans had received a free Coca-Cola, for a total of 8.5 million free drinks. By 1895, Coca-Cola was being served in every state. That transitioned to a boom in discounts for cereals in the 1900s, and even the recession brought a boom of 3.5 billion redeemed coupons back in 2009, and that was before the launch of digital coupons. Now there is nearly 32 billion coupons redeemed. That was in 2018 alone, and it's expected to grow another 94% by 2022. People love deals, and deals keep them coming back. So who are the major players in the digital coupon era? In the United States alone, the major player is Groupon, with Living Social, who Groupon acquired a few years ago, trailing behind, and Retail Me Not, with a comfy seat in the market next to Coupons.com. This doesn't include the masses of retail stores providing their own digital coupons on their sites. I'll return to talk about these guys shortly, but I want to get right into discussing the problem for small businesses, and hopefully this will shed some light on why these guys are not a good fit for the modern small business. So what's the problem small businesses are facing today? The number one thing is lack of resources. They have a shortage. The shortage consists of money, people, and time. They don't have the means necessary to create a marketing budget. They don't have a sales team, and they don't have the time to learn what's necessary to build a successful business. This is why nearly 30% fail in the first 2 years of business. That number could actually be higher. Small businesses have a marketing problem, really, if you think about it. People don't know who they are, where they are, or what they have to offer. People just don't walk into stores anymore like they did in the 50s. The consumer wants what they want and won't shy away from it. Some businesses will spend some money marketing, but the reality is they won't do enough of it. They give up and they say it costs too much. It's not working. Many business owners are afraid of what they don't know. If it's not easy enough, it will require time and usually money. And time and money is far too valuable for these people. I want to share a real merchant's experience with Groupon. This business owner used Groupon to gain business and ended up being a really poor decision on their part because they lost money and gained nothing. They say, worst decision our business has ever done is Groupon. They do not support your business. They do not promote, nor do they do anything but cut into profits by more than 80%. We watched as thousands of dollars went out the door. When we realized how bad we were in them, we immediately canceled our account with Groupon after waiting on the phone for hours. Along with back and forth emails, we are about 8 months into it and still they will not cancel our account or invoice us. I promise, if you are a vendor, stay away. Jeremy. Now, they're not alone. I've shared this feeling, and many others have too. I was a merchant on Groupon when I had my cleaning company, so I speak from experience. I know what this feels like here. I'd say there's some opportunity here to fix a problem. Would you agree? So, what is the solution for what we've covered so far? The solution I have is simple. Become a small business's go-to marketing solution. Now, what's that mean? We want to provide the consumer, the merchant's customer, with deals to get them interested and buy. At the same time, we still want the merchant to make money and create repeat business. In order to do this, we need to educate the merchant as well as the consumer, create a partnership with the merchant, and build a long-lasting culture of loyalty for both the consumer and the merchant. I'd like to cover market validation here. Of course, you want to know if this has the potential to make money in long term. This graph here shows an increase in e-coupons redeemed from 2014 and forecasted through 2022. 2017 and 2019 are right around 30 to 35 billion in redeemed coupons. Now it's worldwide. It is expected with the increase in AI and smartphone use, they project a 94 increase in redeemed e-coupons by 2022. That puts us right around 60 billion. There's an opportunity here for a massive monetization of this growing market. You might be wondering what the market size might look like. Like I mentioned, in 2018, we had 31 billion digital coupons redeemed worldwide. Of that, there were 1.05 billion coupon users worldwide. Now, if Udemable could win over 1% of the market share, that would put us at a yearly revenue of $310 million. Now, that's only 1% market share. This shows that there is validity in the marketplace. By now, you probably want to know what the product is, and I'm about to show you. This online portal is the ultimate marketplace for merchants to provide awesome strategic discounts, to create new customers and gain exposure. Our customers can explore the site and start purchasing deals right away. They can also become members, join loyalty programs, cashback programs, and VIP access club where they can purchase exclusive deals and feel like an absolute VIP. We will also provide a back-end dashboard and app for merchants to use where they can get notified of sales, manage customers, create new deals, and read up on tips and educational material to help their business grow. Meet Udemable, the next generation deal site and an all-in-one tool for business to market their products and their services and grow their client base. With Udemable, the customer will find deals and discounts from everyday things they use to spas and salons, vacation deals, hotels and getaways, dog walking, cleaning services, and much more. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel on what the everyday consumer wants, but rather change the experience of how they're going about doing so. Now, a business is nothing really without a business model. Of all deal sites, our commission is the most competitive for what we would be providing. Groupon charges 50% commission. Living Social is near 40%, and Retail Me Not and others charge 5 to 15%, but with lacking ability to provide any real value. Udeemable will charge 15% commission. This keeps the customer happy, getting amazing deals, and merchants happy because they're still profitable on all their sales. We charge an annual fee that we will waive for the first year to create loyalty with our merchants and enable confidence that they'll be happy with us, and we will provide for them. Going back to our market share of $310 million, our average sale will be right around $8 per transaction. Now, this doesn't include ups. Now, a business is nothing really without a business model. Going back to our market share of $310 million, our average sale will be right around $8 per transaction. Now, this doesn't include upsells that we could potentially gain while making a transaction. But take the $310 million, multiply it by 8, and that's how we would get our projected revenue of $2.48 billion. I believe we can attain this and if not exceed it by the end of the year 2022. Market adoption is critical in our journey because it's ultimately how consumers and business owners are going to know who we are. This means going to conferences, trade shows, and events. I highlighted some big ones later this year as well as beginning of 2020. But also creating partnerships with large players in their own industries. Partnerships like these will create new business and expose us to the masses. Investing heavily in our marketing campaigns on these large channels like Facebook and Google Ads will also allow us exposure, but won't reassure it. We need to get known and be physically present and partner with many. This next slide represents our competition, and we have a lot of it. But this shouldn't be looked at as a scare tactic here. This is an opportunity to do things better and change the game. No industry has a lack of competition. Some have the chance to be first movers or major players like Airbnb and reinvent the wheel, but anyone can come along and disrupt the marketplace. Now we have both online and offline competition, some affordable for small businesses and others are extremely expensive. We see here affordable offline options are in-person networking, like walking into a networking group and shaking hands and meeting people, or even like joining the local chamber of commerce. Or you can take an old approach and print flyers and place them on car windows, a very outdated approach. Some online cost-effective solutions for small business would be posting on Craigslist, which is filled with spam and scammers. An alternative to Google would be Binge, which has a cheaper campaign option, but less people use that search engine. You could run an email campaign collecting emails, but many won't do this because of the learning it takes and the time. Expensive offline alternatives are obvious. Billboards, direct mail, catalogs. Expensive online alternatives include paid Google ads or Facebook ads, which not only take time to learn, but can cost you thousands in the process. And of course, Groupon, who's ripping merchants off at 50% commission. Putting together a competitive advantage was somewhat simple because I was once a merchant on Groupon when I ran my cleaning company. I was doing 2-hour cleanings, making less than $11 per cleaning, trying to get repeat business and never did. I was losing money, time, and being less effective. My business ultimately failed because of my decision to use Groupon and how trapped it made me feel. The cost to be a merchant is a big deal here. Low commissions allow the merchant to create profit from sales rather than taking a loss or breaking even. Ease of use allows merchants and customers to easily navigate through the online portal and easily search deals. Empathy is super important here. Empathy for the merchant is important here because understanding and relating to the merchant's needs can disrupt this industry and create lasting relationships. Loyalty rewards and other programs like this, it creates incentive-based loyalty for, the customer to come back for more. If they're using that same vendor or merchant over and over again because of their loyalty program offering them incentive to come back, it's going to create that repeat business option. And it's something Groupon isn't doing. Merchant stories will be in addition to our marketing efforts. By giving the merchant a voice and a chance to tell their story, this will create a brand for themselves and their business, as well as putting us as a company who puts our merchants first. Brand and design is the last and final piece, but probably most important. We want to build a reputable brand people can trust. Fun, sleek, modern design logo that represents our brand and disrupts the industry entirely. I have a case study here of someone who is doing this in South Korea right now. Bom Kim is the founder and CEO of Coupang. Coupang has 3 million users out of a potential market of 15 million, with its next competitor a third smaller, and Groupon even further behind. Now, how is Groupon, a massive entity, way behind a little guy? Well, let's dive in a little deeper. Groupon has tried every trick in the book, it seems, to become number one in South Korea, from acquiring companies to offering huge pay raises to poach Kim's employees to subsidizing deals. Kim attributes his edge not just to better understanding of the local market, but also greater attention to customer service and detail, something Groupon lacks extremely. Insights which could potentially be replicated outside Korea. Bom has a true understanding of the merchant's needs as well as, consumers' needs, and delivers on both. That's essential here. It's not just about selling to the consumer, it's about taking care of the merchant. Attention to detail and doing what others are missing is key to success, and that's stated right here in the article. I hope you enjoyed the presentation thus far, and I hope I still have your attention. We're on the last and final slide, and I want to thank you for your time as we wrap this up. This last slide will cover funding and how the funds will be allocated in the early stages of our startup. Understand we will need to get in front of multiple investors and even dive into crowdfunding to raise this type of capital. Ultimately, this is not a lot of money. It'll just take some time and resources to reach the goal of raising it. Our first round of funding goal would be roughly around 2.5 million. Second round, I would say closer to 5 million. There may be a third or fourth round as we expand in areas of employment and marketing. There are 5 essential areas I'd like to allocate our funding as I see it necessary to focus on. These areas to put us in a position to grow as an organization. The first is building the website to a user-friendly, fast-loading machine. Building a back-end office for merchants and customers will take some talent and money. I estimate that it would be around a high of 80,000. Next, I would bring in a talented group of programmers and IT professionals to build our infrastructure and maintain the website. We need 24/7, 365 up and running site in order to deliver to the consumer. I estimate this would be in the high of 250,000. This one would go alongside with our website, which would be investing heavily in security. Protecting credit cards and customer information is extremely valuable. The amount of businesses who are damaged by cyber attacks is deadly. We need to secure and invest in it. I estimate this to be close to 200,000, if not more. And it will only increase as we grow. Digital and outdoor marketing campaigns are crucial to gaining exposure. People need to know who we are. Investing heavily in marketing is an expansion effort, and we will easily put $500,000 into this. Next will be growing a sales team and customer support team, and it's another crucial element. Businesses and customers need someone to call and talk to when they have an issue, and local businesses need to be educated on our services with our sales team. Growing a sales and support staff is where we'll easily put $1 million into. So, wrapping up, again, thank you so much for your time and attention throughout this presentation. I know you didn't have to be here and take a listen, but just from you sitting here and experiencing this, I truly appreciate your time and how valuable it is. So thank you for that. Forward, if you like, you could definitely reach out to me if you want to dive into this a little deeper. We can definitely meet and sit down and discuss. I hope to work with you in the future. Remember, a problem is only a problem if the solution does not exist. There's a real chance to solve a problem here. The question is, will you join the effort in bringing the solution to the market and become the next big disruptor? If you would like to discuss further or wish to inquire about partnership opportunities, investment opportunities, or questions about Udemable, please call 781-535-9022 or email me at T-Borthwick, that's T-B-O-R-T-H-W-I-C-K @udemable.com. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.